It's your boy.
I had a feeling that this song was a special song because every single time we ever played like a demo version or like an early version of the song to anyone, they would just be like, when are you releasing that? After the video was wrapped, and I was like, I think life's going to be a bit different after this song releases. It was Valentine's Day 2011. I dropped the video, everything just went viral, the song was everywhere. So around 2006 to 2008, Sunit was living in Luton. We were in the studio. It was actually this studio, it looked completely different then. We were just making songs. Every day we would see each other. He had his whole setup here and we would come out, my mates would come over and we would have like freestyle sessions or we would just record. And we got so many songs done around that time. Most of the songs from the Fulfilling Ambition EP were done then. There's a bunch of songs that have never been released. But Jaaneman was one of those songs. It was just something that he was creating and I came in, listened to it, and I wrote it there and then.
So this is the original page in my lyric book from that time. Lyrics for Jaaneman. That was the first verse, that's the second verse. I cut out a little section here and the first verse actually started differently. So the only thing I've ever done well is tell the truth. That's why I cherish every second in the booth. And then there's this part I actually cut out. I completely changed this. What did I say I got? And I'm trying to provide for me and you, but I think this lifestyle is getting to you. Because I can't be with you every second of the day, always thinking of new ways to get paid. So that's the part I used. Those two lines I cut out because I want to give you all the things that you want, but it's hard because I don't get a check every month. And already told you that I'm struggling, said you like the boy, but are you loving him? Because I'm doing this for you, are you really down? If I was struggling for 10 years, would you stick around? I think I made the right choice. That stuff was, I think this was, when I was writing it, I was just writing it. I was just kind of like offloading from my brain. The first two bars I took, and then the next two I skipped, and the next two I took. And then I got rid of the rest. But yeah, that was the original first verse, how I first wrote it. You've seen me try and fail, you've seen me struggle, help me try and make sense of this hustle. So those two lines I cut. And I went straight from helped each other through times we were loneliest, but I'm doing this for us. I've got a feeling that actually I wrote this and I realized it was too long. And then I must have thought, okay, what's the weakest 2-bar here? And that's when I removed this one. So yeah, it's quite interesting going back. Like I haven't looked at this page in my lyric book for a long time.
The inspiration behind Jaaneman was actually a situation I was going through at the time. Looking back now, it was kind of like the end of the relationship, but it was that kind of weird phase where you've broken up or you haven't broken up. We weren't right for each other. At that time, I wasn't making a living out of making music. I'd finished uni. The whole song was about that. It was about, will you stay with me while the times are tough, or will you give up and say it's just too much? Like that's how I felt. Can I be with someone who will have my back while I'm trying to balance making something of myself and this relationship and this person who I think is the right person for me? All of that was going on in my head and it just all came out in the song, and that was the inspiration behind it.
But right now I ain't got a penny to my name, but I promise you one day it'll all change. But will you stay with me while the times are tough, or will you give up and say it's just too much?
So the biggest challenge, one, we knew we wanted a singer to sing the chorus. We were trying to find someone who could write the chorus as well. An artist called Key and also her manager Rani, and they both helped us create that chorus element. The video, at that time, it was really, really difficult to make good music videos. It was kind of the transition from the analog to digital phase. Digital cameras had just started being able to record video. I had a relationship with Rix that I've known for years, and Sid was doing his music videos. The first video project of mine that he worked on was Name on the Poster. After that, I knew that I wanted to work more with Sid. So we came up with a storyline. I knew that he'd be able to do a good job. Visually, it would look really, really good. We knew exactly what we wanted. We had a vision for it. So on YouTube, you would have these stats. It would tell you, you know, your #1 trending in this country, your #1 trending in that country. Every day there would be a new one. You're #8 in the UK. On Facebook, you could check the amount of shares you have. It would just keep increasing, and there was just a level of excitement in it, and I'd never experienced that. And the biggest difference I noticed was actually going to a Miller and performing after the song had come out a couple of months later. And just the reaction I got from people was completely different. I think it might have been East London Miller. That was the first time I performed that song. And there was just an energy that came over the crowd. Like they all knew the song, they knew the words, and that's just amazing. Like as a performer, that's exactly what you want. You want people to know your song and you want them to sing along with you.
I want to give my last name to.
Because it's a slow song and performing is normally in an atmosphere where people play a lot of upbeat music, I always found it a little bit difficult in my own head, like wanting to perform that song, feeling like it's not a club song, you can't perform it in a club, it's too slow. They had certain like remixes of the song that I'd performed that were more upbeat. There was a certain point where I decided that the song was so important and people loved it so much that regardless of wherever I am and whatever the atmosphere is, it's okay to kind of bring the energy to a point where you can perform a slow song, and that can be done absolutely anywhere. When people love a song, regardless of if they're partying, they will stop and they will listen and they will pay attention. So the concept for the video was, so me and my girlfriend have an argument at some sort of function. We've got dressed up, we've gone somewhere, we have some sort of argument, and she storms off and goes back to the hotel, but she doesn't have the key to get into the room. So I'm walking back and coming back to the hotel. There's already been a disconnect and we're trying to come back together now. Everyone's from Luton. So I'm from Luton, Rix is from Luton, Sheena, who did the styling, she's from Luton, Sid's from Luton. So it made sense that we would shoot the video in Luton. Again, it was about calling in favors. We were trying to find locations, where can we shoot this? Sid knew the person who owned, I think it was a hotel. It was a hotel slash, they had like a function room in there and there was a party going on at the same time. So it's actually closed down now and they've rebuilt that whole place. We knew that was going to be the location where we do the interiors. Around the corner is this flyover, which we thought would look really good on camera. So the model was Tasmin. She was actually a friend of a friend. We were trying to pull in as many favors as we could with this video because the budget was practically non-existent. And she came and she was brilliant on the day. That last scene at the end is kind of, it's quite interesting because some people don't actually understand it. And I feel like if you don't understand it, you've never kind of had an argument in a relationship. Like sometimes there's so much tension that just the smallest thing can just cause you both to like have a moment of release, and you just kind of realize that you're angry for no reason. So the ending of that video was like, you know, she's been waiting for that whole time for the key card to get into the hotel room and she doesn't have it, and then I have it and I just kind of present it to her, and we both kind of just break and realize that whatever we were arguing about was a silly thing. And that was kind of the culmination of the song and the video. The legacy of Jaaneman is something which is, I think, is beyond me. People have so much love and adoration of the song and that moment in time. I got so many messages from people. I got back together with my partner because of this song. People getting the name tattooed. There's a sweet centre in London called Jaaneman, which people send me pictures of all the time, and I think that's so funny. I see it as a milestone in my career, specifically from that song releasing. It's been an upward trajectory, a steep one as well. And the legacy of the song is it's timeless. It doesn't age. It's just as relevant. It's just as poignant, and people can connect to it just as much now as they did when it was first released.